Hello, teachers. I hope you all are doing well. Let me introduce you to my friend Shanti. She is also a teacher, but these days she seems a little stressed and tired. Let us find out what is bothering Shanti. Hello, Shanti. You look a little stressed. What happened?
Hello Radha. Yes, I am little stressed these days because the exams are approaching and I am unable to manage time and balance the requirements of students, resulting in contributing to teacher-centric classrooms, which I do not enjoy. Could you please guide me through these challenges, Radha?
Well, Shanti, I understand you. Did you try using the teacher resource book?
Teacher resource book? What is that?
The Teacher Resource Book is a compilation of a guide on creating the lesson plan, TCM, that is Teacher Competency Matrix, and structured lesson plan for multiple grades. It serves as additional resources for teachers, assisting us in preparing with essential skills and knowledge.
Wait. That sounds interesting. But what exactly is teacher competency matrix?
TCM or Teacher Competency Matrix takes an introspective approach focusing on self improvement through honest self analysis. This approach will also assist teachers in analyzing their strengths and identifying areas for improvement. It has smoothly incorporated experiential learning pedagogy at the most suitable areas. Seven major aspects related to the daily lives of teachers have been selected for this self evaluation framework. This TCM includes seven domains which are aligned with its respective competencies. Now let us examine each domain within TCM and explore some of these competencies associated with them to enhance our comprehension. Under each domain, there are multiple competencies and some examples are here shown on the screen. The first domain is understanding of learners and creation of a conducive classroom culture. This domain mainly talks about a child-friendly environment and sets a clear behavioral expectations for activities in the classroom. The second domain is policy, curriculum and content knowledge. This domain majorly talks about the current policy recommendations and addresses the higher order attitudes and misconceptions. The third domain is a quality teaching learning process. This domain talks about the gradual release of responsibility from teacher to the students and using or creating the relevant and available TLM. The fourth domain is English proficiency. This domain majorly focuses on usage of grammatically correct English with fluency and supports students learning using English as a medium. The fifth domain is social, emotional and ethical learning. This domain talks about the role and impact of social, emotional and ethical skills along with the appropriate pedagogical strategies. The sixth domain is collaborations with the students, colleagues and parent community. This domain focuses on providing opportunities to the students and empowers the students to take up the responsibilities. The seventh domain is professional development. This domain talks about the accountability of their self-learning needs and takes actions to update the skills and knowledge. All the teachers must go through it for self-assessment and improve their competency in their aspects.
That sounds interesting, Radha.
Certainly, the resource book has been a great help in the classroom. The self evaluation questionnaire based on TCM is particularly useful for teachers to assess and improve their performance. It helps identify areas of improvement and highlights our strengths as educators. The resource book has a lot more to offer. I have learned how to create the lesson plan by referring to this guidebook.
That sounds great, Radha. Can you tell me briefly about the structure of the lesson plan?
Of course, the common approach we follow in this plan is gradual release of responsibility, which means the teacher explains or introduces the concept, then offers students the structured opportunities for practice with support from both teachers and peers. Finally, concludes the learning process with independent practice where students apply the concept on their own. Further, the lesson plan is divided into three main components. They are introduction, teaching learning process, and conclusion. In the introduction, there are different activities to generate interest for the students in the lesson. Informs students about the lesson outcomes and the concepts they are going to cover in upcoming classes. Secondly, the teacher learning process is divided into three stages. They are teacher modeling. Here, the teacher engages with the students, introduces the new concepts, and models the key steps to acquire the required skill or the required learning outcomes. The second stage is called guided practice. The teacher practices it together with the entire class, after which the students may work in groups to apply the skill or knowledge they have learned or follow the steps as modeled by the teacher. In the third step, which we call independent practice, students try out what they learned on their own. They check how well it works and use that information to decide what to do next. Finally, we sum up the lesson plan with a conclusion. Here, we teachers can summarize the lesson or share their day's learning in the class, or may ask students to share things that they enjoyed in the lesson. The teacher gives homework and also does a quick briefing of the class. Additionally, these lesson plans also include factual questions and open ended questions as a part of CFUs, assessments on the concept, student independent practice, and remedial teaching. You will also find a guide to create your own structured lesson plans along with a list of activities. The teacher resource book not only explains lesson plan structures but also provides activity lists for creative lesson designing. They include progress trackers to help teachers monitor and improve their lesson plan implementation.
Wow, these lesson plans really look helpful. I believe they will bring efficiency and effectiveness in the teaching learning process for me. Amazing!